It is my pleasure to be here today talking to all of you about quality matters and how and why it matters to all of us. So, again, my name is Mary Rotundo. I am the Quality Assurance Manager and Lead Instructional Designer for COSI. And internally to QM, I am the Quality Matters Coordinator. So this is the official name QM gives the person within the institution who handles QM for the institution. And I've been doing that for a few years now and enjoying every moment of it because I've been learning from each and every course that we have QM'd, learned from each one of you that has taken their courses and certified them with QM, but also worked with us to attain that high quality that really reflects on our teaching practice and the success of our students. Okay, so our objectives today are the following. We're going to be identifying resources and opportunities to start on your path towards quality with us. And then we're going to talk briefly about some of the advantages of getting a QM certification. And the core of our presentation will be discussing design quality standards that impact your teaching. And therefore, we're going to go back to that question on the Slido about engaging your students. And throughout the presentation, we'll be discussing how we can help you become a quality leader within your department, for your own personal growth and the bettering of your teaching practice. And bottom line is quality matters. Quality matters to you and it matters to all of us because it really, in the end, helps our students succeed. Okay, so I want to start by reminding you guys that there's many roads to quality with us. So we have a program, a process called the e-design, and this is the first time you create a course with us. It's a full course design that follows our wonderful internal review process. By the end of this process, your course meets all of these essential standards for quality, these best practices for online course development, but you also get from us tips and help as you are teaching your course. So it covers the thinking about your course, the creating your course, and the actual delivery of your teaching. So we give you tips on how to use rubrics to give feedback, creating your rubrics, um, engaging your students, creating group projects, real assessment, varied forms of assessment. So we are with you as you are teaching the course for the first time. After you teach the course for the first time, a course that has been designed with us, it is considered a mature course and it is ready to go through the next level, which is the Quality Matters certification. Then the second pathway to quality with us is after you've created a course and it's 3 years after, you are welcome to come and update your course with us. We call these the course design update. And again, it follows our internal review process. And after that, you have the choice of taking the course to QM. So at either point after an e-design that gets taught for the first time, or after you create your course as an e-design, teach it for 3 years, go through the update, at any of those points, Quality Matters is available to you as a next level certification, external certification for quality.
And Mary, let's be sure and let them know that the internal review process
Mhm.
is a review of that we have done what we are supposed, what we are challenged to do in order to get their course, your course, ready for to be taught, and
Mhm.
then ultimately for the quality review.
Absolutely. So these standards or best practices for quality are industry-wide. What QM has done is they have created a very straightforward uh, review process and certification process based on the rubric. But these quality indicators really inform the way we design and review and teach our courses. Okay, so what are some advantages of the Quality Matters certification or going through our course design process? Like I said before, these are all student-centered. We are doing all of these so that our students can have a better experience. Next week, we have a follow-up presentation to this one in which we will be talking about quality for student success. Right now, we're talking about starting that thinking process towards that, but we'll talk more about that next week. So the QM process in our internal process is extremely collegial, constructive. You will get expert feedback. If you decide to go through QM, you will have a team of 3 people giving you feedback. Um, the QM process is designed so that eventually you will succeed at certifying your course. So if your course goes through QM and there are a couple things to tweak, standards that didn't get met um, the first time, you get extensive feedback and you work with me so that in the end you can certify your course. However, many of our courses get certified on the first attempt. Um, and even though we get certified, you still get a ton of feedback. Ways to improve your course, things to add, advice from these 3 experts, which includes a subject matter expert. So it's never a one-way street. It's a team effort aimed at, like I said, improving the experience for your students. And it gives you the confidence that your course has not only been reviewed, but it has been tweaked and improved to the point where it really meets the standards for the what is the benchmark for quality for online education and course design. Okay, so let's talk about how these quality standards apply to me. So basically, we're going to start with these essential course components. A big part of that is what we know as alignment, which is the matching of our intent as teachers and what our students accomplish, what they take away from the course. So, course level objectives, module level objectives, assignments, and content, they all go hand in hand to, I would say, to ensure that your students get the most out of your course. Um, we integrate all of these components, alignment, engaging content, engaging interaction, engaging assessment, uh, accessibility, use of rubrics, use of timely feedback. All of these things we integrate into what we call our artifacts. And I'm going to stop and share with you a few of them. So now I'm opening our course design template, and I talked about course level objectives, and they take They will be here at the forefront of the course. And for each one of our module pages, you will see alignment, which is made explicitly transparent for our students. So for each module, you will see how the module level objectives are listed and how they tied back to your course level objectives. Within our module pages, you'll always see the same components. You will see a to-do list so that your students know going into the module what is expected of them. The content will be all embedded into these pages, everything in terms of media, your PowerPoint presentations, your notes, everything will be available to them from this page. And ease of navigation and students knowing from scratch what they will be expected to do and submit really is paramount to reducing anxiety and setting the stage for success for your students. So this is the first of our artifacts that I wanted to share with you. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show another of our tools for course design, our blueprint. So I use the word alignment, and basically when we're creating a course, when we're designing, these document allows us to see how all course components come together as a coherent and cohesive whole. So for each one of the modules that you saw, this is, for example, how I will be planning module one. My assignments will be listed here. I will have detailed prompts for everything. I will have descriptions of all my content. And of course, I will have, again, module and course level objectives related to each other and related to my content and my assignments. I will also go ahead and show you our syllabus template. This template is actually updated so that it reflects COVID and our latest statement from the provost office that says that face covering is now not mandatory but recommended. So we keep it updated, and it is a very comprehensive document that communicates expectations and again helps your students know um, how they will get to succeed in your course. So they have technology requirements there and comprehensive description of your assessments and how your grading works for your course, all kinds of internal policies to the course and university-wide policies. So it is really a map for success for your students. And then our internal review process that really mirrors these quality standards that are um, industry-wide, and they have been compiled into the QM process and rubric.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Maria, great presentation. Just to kind of share, I've went through this process a few times. The COSI team is probably a little sick of me, but I always learn so much. The Canvas template that they have for the courses, it really kind of lays out what's going on either in each module, if you have it, set up weekly, and it just kind of creates a roadmap as you're building your course. And the blueprint process, which I'm actually working on, I think this is the fourth time I'm doing it with Janisha. It's a little time consuming, but you learn so much, and just getting that alignment set up and organize where your objectives and your assessments all go together. I just find it helps me make sense why I'm assigning what to my students. And before taking this course and going through this process with COSI, I really never thought about it. So I've just, every time I go through this process, I notice that I learn so much, and I'll start implementing what I'm learning, even with other classes that I'm teaching that, is not the specific course that I'm working with COSI on. So I strongly encourage everyone to, try it out. And even other than what you learn from COSI, even when you go through QM, and they go through the rubric going through your course, which, by the way, COSI literally holds your hand through the process. And I do like to emphasize that because I was very impressed with the amount of assistance I received. They also, from QM, that your reviewers who are not part of your organization, the suggestions they give. So even though you pass it and your class gets in, when you have time to kind of go through their suggestions on each criteria they have in the rubric, I just find it so helpful. It kind of gives you some insight on how other people view your course.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And before we move on, Frank also said that he would be happy to share. And I'm going to respond to Chantal's question. We do not require you to do the internal review process every year during that 3-year process. However, I will put myself out there since we work together on a course. Anytime you would like us to take a look at your course using that review document, we'd be more than happy to.
Hi,
Yes,
good
and-
afternoon.
okay.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my experience, which was extremely positive. I've had the pleasure to QM 2 courses for the Criminal Justice Department. My first one was death penalty, and my second one was immigration in the criminal justice system. 2 really incredible courses. I just would echo everything Nancy said, and I had similar experiences as she articulated. I want to tell you that before I went through the QM process, I used to use what is known in the practice as weasel verbs when I did my blueprints. Thank you to Dr. Summers for sharing with me the Bloom verbs and Bloom toxicologies, and I've improved tremendously using the Bloom verbs, and thank you for that. One thing I found out about teaching online is how important and how easy a rubric is. If you have a good rubric, which COSI will give you, will hand feed it to you, it's amazing. It's amazing for the students, so the students know exactly what's expected of them. But selfishly, it's really beneficial to the instructor. And when I have a TA, I say, rely on the rubric. The students are going to rely on the rubric, so should we. And so there's great rubrics. Lastly, the syllabus template that I stole, I borrowed from COSI is fantastic. I use it for my face-to-face classes, soon to be again, and for all my other classes. It's wonderful syllabus template, and anytime I submit it to my director, it's passed. And so I appreciate that tremendously. As far as going through the QM process, the first time it was nerve-wracking, but like Mary has said, it's not a one-way street. It's a team process. And when I realized that the 3 experts from other universities, which was really cool, speaking to 3 other professors from different universities, including a subject matter experts, they weren't there to belittle me, but they were there to help me create a better course. And I can't tell you enough that you're not going to go through this alone. You're going to have Mary sitting right by your right-hand side, and she's there to guide you through the process. And you're there as a subject matter expert. Mary will get your course through. I'm currently doing my 3rd QM course, and my goal is to get 100% this time, not just pass it, but to just get 100%. So it's an incredible process for an instructor and the student. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences.
Thank you so much to you, Frank, and to you, Nancy, for sharing your experiences. through the process. And I feel that hearing it from a peer is so much more valuable than anything that I can tell you. So we really appreciate that feedback. To Chantal's point, I would like to say that at any point that you want to make improvements to your course once it is designed, there's the open lab opportunity, so you can meet with Judy or any of us, and we'll work with you on those changes. Any of our artifacts, be it the Canvas template, the blueprint, the syllabus, all of these are for you at any point that you need them. If you want to have them in a different course, if you want to try to build a sandbox and play around with options, we can make these available to you. Everything we do and everything we have is for our community to share. But again, thank you so much for the wonderful feedback. Now, continuing with our standards, there's more, right? So there's these wonderful rubrics that really tell the story for our students and really make our lives easier. There's accessibility, which is informed by the universal design for learning framework, which basically says, let's set up everybody for success. So if you are a student with any kind of needs, um, if you are a person that speaks a second language, any of these features that we add to our design are there to help you succeed. Anything that increases our ease of navigation, anything that informs you where these course components are so that you're not looking for things, you're not wandering around. Everything is there and it makes sense and it's clear for you as a student from the onset. All of that comes from that universal design for learning, and it is measured or assessed under accessibility. Accessibility also requires things like either closed captioning or transcripts for videos, alternate text for images. All of the documents that are put into the course are taken through, are run through an accessibility check. So everything that we put in the course is there not only by design, but it's really it goes through a really mindful process so that we want to make it the same opportunity for all of your students to succeed. But wait, there's more. There's more standards. Um, so there's when you go through an e-design or a course design update, we help you create or refresh your media. So you can create videos of your lectures, you can create 360 videos, you can create interactive media with us. So there's multiple options that we offer. We also encourage and assist you in creating teacher presence through other means other than your media. For example, your feedback, your communication, your all of those things that go into your syllabus, your announcements, anything that you can do so that your students know who you are, how you assess, how you grade them, and how you communicate with them. Another really important piece is your student interaction. All of these things like chats, discussion boards, interactive documents, be it in Google Drive or any other form, group work, peer review, all of these tools. Um, Judy and Nancy use, I forgot, the walls. I forgot the name of the tool.
Flipgrid and Padlet.
Thank you for that. And then copyright compliance. We actually have a really robust and, let me say it, friendly process to help you model academic integrity to your students. So we, in the background, help you go through your images in your PowerPoints. If you're listing resources, we create a reference list for you. All of our module pages, anything that we put in there is attributed. So when we go into QM or when we go into our internal review process, we are there to model academic integrity for our students, which is a wonderful practice, especially in these days where cheating is such a concern for all of us. And there's one more set of standards that we want to talk about. And but we will leave the floor for you guys because we think that all of these practices informally may be something that you guys are already doing. So we would like to ask a question now. What else do you think you're including in your teaching after hearing what we just shared?
Hi, this is Frank Delatorre again. So I'd like to share something that I started because of COVID and with the help of Judy um, and um, Sosi. And so I just take you back about a little bit more than a year. We were coming back from spring break, or thought we were going to come back from spring break, and we never did because of COVID. And I had a face-to-face class with 70 students. Many of them had never taken a fully online class, and now we're fully online. I felt their panic, and so this is a true story. I called Judy. I think she changed her number after I called her this late one evening, and I said, "Listen, I really need to do some video lectures for these students because they are freaking out, rightfully so." And to my surprise, even though I emailed her at like 10 o'clock, by 10:15, she had gone back to me and gave me the phone number and a contact, an incredible person, Benny Chang, who said, "Hey, come on in, we're still open, and you can record some videos." And so for my two classes, I recorded almost all my other videos, but he not only recorded them for me, he taught me how to do it. And so I continued doing that through this last year. And then I kind of got away from it. I got away from doing my video lectures, and I started teaching immigration, which was my class. It was QM, but it was pre-COVID. So I had no video lectures in there. And I got about a handful of students, close to a little insurrection. Where are the video lectures? We really liked them. And of course, when you're teaching online, I don't know whether they're actually using it or not. Some mention it on the spot, some don't. But that is something that I've learned, and I started adding them to my immigration class of this semester because of what the students really enjoyed it, having those video lectures. So that's something I learned because of COVID, and I plan now to continue in all my other online classes that don't have these video lectures. So once again, thanks for giving me a chance to share.
So let's delve a little bit deeper into what quality matters looks like when you decide to go and go on that journey with us. So they define quality as more than average, so better than good enough. The threshold for quality is defined by the 85% level. Um, in an actual review, and they have 23 standards that are necessary, essential to meet. And these are worth 3 points, which puts you at 69 points or 69%. In addition to those, you still need a few more points so you can get to the 85 level. So these are divided into another two groups of standards that are worth 2 points and 1 point. So by this dual system, they're helping you achieve your quality certification while meeting essential quality standards and other standards that also increase opportunities for your students to be successful in your course. I like this idea of progress, not perfection, because this is exactly what the process looks like. You will get feedback at different points, and the idea is that at the end of the process, you end up with a more robust, better course. And even if you don't want to implement everything you get at once, you can go away, you can get away with that report, and there's, like Nancy was saying, a lot of improvement that you can actually do as you know on your own time. So there are 8 general standards for course design. Ease of navigation, like I was saying, is included into what they call the course overview and introduction. In our template, this is what we call the Start Here module. And I think I closed it. I would love to show you. We'll see if we have time at the end, and I'll show you what the Start Here module looks like. Then we have these learning objectives, assessments and measurement, instructional materials, learning activities, technology. All of these components are what come together as what we know as alignment. And then we have policies for learner support and accessibility and usability, which is also ease of navigation. So by creating this system of in opportunities and resources, what QM is really doing is using the power of curation so that the process makes sense, is comfortable, and it may feel overwhelming, but it's really not. And one of the reasons is that here at FAU at COSI, we are with you every step of the way. So from the QM point of view, they offer their wonderful rubric. They have a team of 3 reviewers, peer and master reviewers. The team chair is a master reviewer who has actually done several reviews. Their whole review process is super friendly, and they make all of these community resources available. Now, for us internally, there is we work with you every step of the way. So the QM coordinator, myself, in this case, I will work with you. I'll be your liaison between your course, yourself, and the organization. We will work with you to prep the course for QM. We will go in and we will take a look at your course from the point of view of those QM reviewers. We'll look at your alignment, we'll look at your modules, your assessments. I will read your your quiz questions. Like, we really go in there to make sure that it passes review. And then we handle all the paperwork. We submit the application for you. We help you complete the course worksheet as you're preparing for the review. We sit with you during the initial call where you actually meet your review team. Um, Throughout the process, we go in and we make sure that everything is going well, and that if there are any quick fixes that need to take place, we are there for you so we don't have to wait until the end. In short, we are guiding you every step of the way. So anyways, whether you're ready to go into QM or you're ready to start working on your course, we meet you where you are. We have made quality a habit, and it is our commitment to work with you so that you're at the center for our quality efforts. So we have some resources that we'll be sharing with our participants today. There's a public version of the rubric with all the standards and the essential standards. So we're going to be sending these to you, and we really thank you. We appreciate your input. We appreciate you for coming today, and we welcome you to stop by at any moment, any point you want to learn more about how we can meet you where you are in terms of having a conversation about quality. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Mary, for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience, and thank all of you who have joined us for being willing to step up to this plate and make sure that you have inserted quality into your course. Thank you so much for joining us today.